The time is 9:15 p.m. on January 30th, 1945. The MV Wilhelm Gustloff will sink in a couple of minutes. An estimated 9,400 people die, 6 times more than the Titanic. Yet for decades, this catastrophe remains largely unknown outside Germany, buried in the chaos of the World War II's final months. The Wilhelm Gustloff was built in 1937 as a cruise ship for Nazi Germany's Kraft durch Freude program, which provided leisure activities for German workers. The ship is 208 meters long, weighing 25,484 tons, designed to carry 1,465 passengers and 417 crew in peacetime. It's a luxury liner with swimming pools, dining halls, and comfortable cabins. When World War II intensified, the ship is converted for military use. It serves as a hospital ship briefly, then as a barracks for naval training. By January 1945, Germany is collapsing. The Soviet Red Army is advancing rapidly through East Prussia and Poland, driving millions of German civilians westward in panic. The Wehrmacht is in full retreat. The Nazi leadership organizes Operation Hannibal, a massive naval evacuation to transport refugees and soldiers from East Prussia to western German ports. The Wilhelm Gustloff is pressed into evacuation service. On January 30th, 1945, the ship is docked in Gotenhafen, now Gdynia, Poland, preparing for its first evacuation voyage. The official capacity is around 1,800 people, but thousands of desperate refugees crowd the port, fleeing the Soviet Red Army's advance. Stories of Soviet atrocities against German civilians have spread terror through the population. People will do anything to escape. The ship's captain, Friedrich Petersen, faces an impossible situation. Thousands of refugees wait on the frozen docks: women, children, elderly, wounded soldiers. The temperature is well below freezing. Soviet forces are approaching. Turning people away means leaving them to face the Red Army. Against regulations and safety protocols, he allows boarding to continue. By departure time, estimates suggest between 10,300 and 10,600 people are aboard. Nobody knows the exact number. Proper passenger manifests are abandoned in the chaos. The ship carries approximately 918 naval officers and crew, 373 female naval auxiliaries, 162 wounded soldiers, and between 8,800 and 9,000 refugees. Among the refugees are thousands of children and infants. The overcrowding is extreme. Every cabin, corridor, and public space is packed with people. At approximately 12:30 p.m., the Wilhelm Gustloff departs Gotenhafen, accompanied by 2 smaller ships, the Hansa and the torpedo boat Löwe. The plan is to sail west through the Baltic to Kiel, Germany, a journey of approximately 400 kilometers. The captain must decide between 2 routes: stay close to shore in shallow, mined waters where submarines have difficulty operating, or sail farther out in deeper water with more room to maneuver but greater submarine risk.
Wilhelm Zahn was a senior Navy officer on board and preferred the first option away of the submarine, as he has also been a U-boat submarine captain and knew the chances of an attack was high. This caused a dispute with Captain Petersen, who preferred the second path.
Captain Petersen chooses the deeper route. The ship sails at about 12 knots, far below its maximum speed. It cannot sail faster because one of the torpedo boats escorting it has engine problems and cannot keep pace. The decision to slow down to stay with the escort will prove fatal. The ship's lights are turned on despite blackout protocols. The official explanation is that another German ship is approaching from the opposite direction, and the lights are needed to avoid collision. But this makes the Wilhelm Gustloff clearly visible in the dark winter night and an easy target. Approximately 30 kilometers offshore, the ship is spotted by Soviet submarine S-13, commanded by Captain Alexander Marinesco. The submarine has been patrolling this area for days, searching for German vessels. Marinesco tracks the illuminated liner, calculating solutions.
At 9:08 p.m., Marinesco orders his crew to prepare for attack. The Wilhelm Gustloff is moving slowly, making it an easy target. At 9:16 p.m., S-13 fires 4 torpedoes from a distance of about 700 meters. 3 hit the ship. 1 torpedo strikes the bow. 1 hits near the empty swimming pool filled with female naval auxiliaries, and 1 strikes the engine room. The first torpedo blows a massive hole in the ship's bow, flooding the forward compartments instantly. The naval auxiliaries in the swimming pool area are killed immediately. The space becomes a tomb as water floods in. The engine room explosion kills most of the crew there and knocks out the ship's power. Panic erupts instantly. In the darkness, thousands of people scramble for the decks. The corridors are jammed with terrified refugees. The listing ship makes movement nearly impossible. People climb over each other, trampling those who fall. Parents desperately hold on to children in the crush. The screaming is constant. The ship carries lifeboats for 5,000 people in normal circumstances, already inadequate for the 10,000 plus aboard. But the severe port list makes half the lifeboats unusable. Those on the starboard side swing inward over the deck, impossible to launch. Only the port side boats can be lowered, but the list makes even this difficult. Crew members and naval personnel attempt to lower lifeboats, but the overcrowding and panic create chaos. Some boats are lowered while still full of people clinging desperately to them. Others capsize when they hit the water. Many refugees jump into boats from the deck above, causing them to overturn or killing those already inside. The Baltic Sea temperature is approximately -18 degrees Celsius. Anyone entering the water has minutes before hypothermia sets in. The torpedo boat Louvre, one of the escorts, immediately moves to rescue survivors. But it's a small vessel, capable of holding perhaps 500 people. It pulls alongside the sinking liner, and people jump from the Gustloff's decks onto the torpedo boat. Some miss and fall between the ships, crushed when waves push the vessels together. The Wilhelm Gustloff sinks rapidly. Just 70 minutes after the torpedo strikes, at approximately 10:25 p.m., the ship disappears beneath the waves. The bow goes down first, pulling the stern vertical as the ship makes its final plunge. Hundreds still clinging to the deck slide into the freezing water. Rescue operations continue through the night and into the next day. Ships search the debris field, finding fewer and fewer living survivors as hours passed. The final count? Approximately 1,200 survived. Between 9,400 and 9,600 died. The exact number will never be known because no accurate passenger list exists. The death toll makes the Wilhelm Gustloff sinking the deadliest maritime disaster in history. It kills approximately 6 times more people than the Titanic, 3 times more than the Lusitania, and more than any other single ship disaster. Among the dead are an estimated 5,000 children. The Soviet Union celebrates the sinking as a military victory. Alexander Marinesco is awarded the Order of the Red Banner for his successful attacks on not just the Wilhelm Gustloff, but several other boats and ships. Soviet propaganda emphasizes that the ship was carrying German military personnel and equipment, making it a legitimate military target. The presence of thousands of civilian refugees is downplayed or ignored. In Germany, the disaster is initially reported but quickly suppressed. Nazi propaganda minister Joseph Goebbels orders minimal coverage, fearing the disaster will further damage German morale. The question of whether the attack was legal under international law remains debated. The Wilhelm Gustloff was painted gray, carried anti-aircraft guns, and transported military personnel, making it arguably a legitimate military target under wartime rules. However, it also carried thousands of civilian refugees.
International maritime law is murky on ships with mixed military and civilian passengers during wartime evacuations. The Wilhelm Gustloff disaster is the deadliest maritime catastrophe in history. Nearly 9,000 people died in freezing water on a dark January night.